Hi, my name is Addison, and this is my presentation of learning in Life Design Lab. When I first heard of this elective while choosing my freshman year schedule, I was intrigued. I liked that it was a different format of class where we weren't being told what to do all of the time. But I had never experienced anything like it before, so I was a little nervous as to what I was to expect. On the first day of school, Mr. Daly and Mr. Madden told us about how the class worked and what we would be doing. I soon realized that it may be harder to fully create and complete a project than I was expecting. I was still excited to be a part of the class, just overwhelmed with all of the options and types of projects I could choose from. I had a lot of ideas for potential projects, but overall, I knew I wanted to do a service project, something that would make an impact on a certain organization or nonprofit. I considered many different charities, but then I remembered an assembly I had in middle school. It was from a nonprofit called Deirdre's House. I remembered a little bit about what they actually did, just that they helped children who had been abused. But as soon as the thought popped into my head, I knew that's who I wanted to help. I have a passion for helping children, so I immediately got to work researching all about the nonprofit, and I decided on doing a fundraiser. However, staying motivated about the class proved difficult. I had never planned an event in my life before, so I had no idea what I was doing. I was also overwhelmed with all of the things I had to learn about and plan. Procrastination was also a big setback, as it usually is with projects like these. With many other things in my life to focus on, I started delaying working on my project besides making lists of things I needed to do here and there. And as a freshman adjusting to high school and the new workload, it wasn't much of a priority compared to all my other classes and homework. I hadn't really done all that much work until Mr. Daly and Mr. Madden informed us that we had to present at the first Life Design Night. That really whipped me into shape as I started actually working on my project and preparing to present my progress. Although, with any journey, you're bound to hit a couple bumps in the road. Planning a fundraiser wasn't easy. I had the idea of doing a raffle at the Alexander Hamilton cafeteria. However, there were many problems I faced. I had emailed and called Alexander Hamilton multiple times, and it took me a decent amount of time to actually get a hold of the principal. I was also struggling to get responses from Deirdre's House staff. Another issue was picking a day. I had to navigate my schedule along with the school schedule months away from the date I was at to pick a day. Also, figuring out how I was going to get baskets and what would they be would consume a lot of my time. After finally getting hold of and corresponding with and calling the events coordinator at Deirdre's House, as well as the Alexander Hamilton principal, I had a lot of work done when I hit a major speed bump. After talking to someone from the Morristown Education Foundation, I learned that I would need a license to host a raffle, which was not possible for Deirdre's House to obtain. I was crushed. All my hard work from September to January had gone to waste. My idea was in the garbage, and I had no idea how I was going to start over so late in the year with more progress presentations coming up soon. Eventually, I decided to alter my project instead of changing it completely. I reached out to the events coordinator again and asked about a food drive. She sent over some flyers for a food and hygiene drive as well as a snack drive they already had going, which I sent out to a few more school district principals to advertise to the parents. However, this didn't feel like enough to me. When speaking to someone from Morristown Education Foundation and being asked about how I knew about Deirdre's House and why I wanted to help, I explained how the presentation I witnessed a couple years ago got my eye, which triggered an emotional response. It was then that I realized what this project was doing for other people and for Deirdre's House. This wasn't just about getting donations for a project. It was about getting Deirdre's House's message out into the community, that child abuse does not have to define a child's life. I understood that barely anyone knew they existed, and the only thing I could do that was better than raising money was helping them advertise the incredible work they were doing. I was determined to make a difference bigger than some food drive they had already started. So, after many more email correspondences, tours of Deirdre's House building, and inspiration from Mr. Daly, Mr. Madden, and MEF Associates, I decided to start a GoFundMe. I created an account with a specific bio and a goal of $2,000. I sent these flyers with QR codes to my family, got my parents to put it on Facebook. I printed them out and put them up around Morristown. And I even got the principal of Hillcrest Elementary School to post it on Instagram for the parents to see. So far, I've raised $1,450. I finally felt accomplished with my project. But not just from knowing I had done it. From September to now, I have learned so many things I didn't before. The first one being how to write a sophisticated email. My professionalism has improved so much because of the amount of emails and phone calls I had to make. It improved my writing and how I addressed adults. Another is how to advertise. I've never done anything like this project before, so I had to learn the most effective ways of getting donations. Friends and family are always willing to help, and putting up some of the flyers in public areas is just as important. And also, I learned how to make effective flyers. If your flyer isn't interesting with color, shapes, or pictures, people are not going to look at it or even give it a second thought. But my main takeaway is that it's okay to ask for help. My whole life, my mentality has been, if you want to do something, you have to do it yourself, especially for this project. In the beginning of the year, I never asked for conferences and rarely asked for help from my teachers or outside sources. I even made one of our school supervisors very confused on how I was doing this all by myself. However, as the year went on, I started to realize I could make things so much easier if I just let people help me when I needed it. Self-reliance is good, but asking for help sometimes is not a bad thing. I couldn't have done it without Mr. Daly and Mr. Madden always helping guide me through the ruts in my project, or my friends in the class for always helping proofreading my emails, or what to say when I had to make phone calls. Life Design Lab has benefited me so much that I find myself asking for help more daily in and out of school. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to take this class, and I know I will continue to grow and learn in this program. Thank you.